Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys, not really an old game, but we're talking about take a game.
It's
a game.
I have no idea how old it is.
Today we're doing, because have we really done a TODPOG? I guess Heroes of the Storm were sort of a TODPOG.
Yeah. But so I'll act really, really bored while you explain this game to me.
Well, I just, Phil was there. I was fine. I didn't have a place. Same with, what's that space simulator that you and...
FTL?
Yeah. Same place, FTL. That was Wiley, Josh, and you, and I'm just like, I got nothing. I got nothing here.
That's a good game, though. So was Heroes of the Storm. You should play with me sometime. That should be our trade-off. I was thinking, because it's like, spoilers, we're going to be talking about Suikoden in a couple weeks. And I was thinking, well, that should be the trade-off. It's like Suikoden's 20 hours, so you need to play 20 hours of Heroes of the Storm with me.
That's worth it. No, that's worth it. That's worth it. And that will also make that deal for Suikoden 2. So
damn, I'm on board. I'll send you my referral link.
Suikoden 2, I think, is one of the... Suikoden 1, I love. I think it is a top-tier RPG.
Yeah.
But I think Suikoden 2 is one of the best RPGs ever made.
Out of all the Electric Boogaloos, the best.
Out of all of it. I bet it's probably the best RPG sequel ever made. I think it is an amazing game start to finish.
How many of those are there now?
There are 5 console Suikodens. 5, Suikoden 1 through 5, Suikoden Tactics, and Suikoden Decreases for DS.
Sharp decline, would you say, or plateau, or what's the...
Well, let's see, because 1, very good, 2 makes the game amps up better, 3 is when they start getting into 3D, and the only thing the story behind 3, fantastic, fucking great. All the characters, everything about it is great. And I love how what Suikoden does is they start off in one part of the world, and they briefly mention in the game other parts of the world. So then the next game will take place in one of the places that they mentioned. And then does a very good job of referring back to the last.
So there's continuity?
Yeah.
Are they all
it's all
direct sequels to one another? Or?
They all, 5 is a prequel to 1.
Okay.
I know that.
So they do start doing weird shit later on.
A little bit.
I say weird shit, but I mean George Lucas style shit.
Yeah, because I could go into this for a long time, but
hey, it's a TODPOG. I don't have to play Suikoden now. I almost tricked you into doing a TODPOG Suikoden.
Because Suikoden 1 and 2, the battles are very quick, 6-person battles that are just very fast paced.
Yeah.
3 changes it up because now it's in 3 dimensions, so the battles take a lot longer because you select and then where that person goes, and then you have to, depending on where they go, then you have to be careful about your area effects and things like that. So battles, I was turned off because I'm used to the fast pace of Suikoden.
Now they were more tactical.
So then it's a big shift.
Gotcha.
Jacob still loved it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't super driven to play it because I sat there and I watched Jacob play all of Suikoden 3. So when I went back, I was like, you already did this.
Yeah, you know the story, and that's a big draw for you, right?
Yeah. So the best element, though, is you get all the characters in 1, save that data, import that data to 2. Then in Suikoden 2, you can recruit the hero from 1 and get special perks, and anyone that was in 1 comes back in 2 at the same level with their equipment and things like that. So
that's cool.
It's a very cool system. And then if you get all the characters in 2 and then import it to 3, and then in 3 it unlocks the villains storyline. So after you finish the main story, you can then play through as the villains to the end.
So it unlocks an additional story?
A whole, it's because there'll be a sphere of lights, and then every now and then, and some are doled out
like as a menu system?
Basically, because there are 3 main heroes in Suikoden 3, and you play through as each one, and they all come together. And then eventually, another one unlocks, and that's like a guy who there's a debate about it. I think that guy is the true main character in Suikoden, but
Like the whole series?
it will each
Or that game?
Each Suikoden has the 108 stars, and each star has a name, and that person. If that person was that star in 1, they're that star in 2 again. Like each star has a name, and each name means something.
Like
so
by
everyone
name,
has
you
a
mean
place.
like Dave or something like that?
Like Tenkai Star is always like the hero. The hero is always the Tenkai Star.
Okay.
And then like the Gairu Star is then something else.
Okay.
Like that is that's usually someone who is a heavy hitter. Like then they're further categorized if you look at the stone tablet with everybody's names on it.
Okay. The Line Trap Star.
Yeah.
It's always the same person.
Always. So then then that fourth thing lights up and you play through as him, which he is the main character slot, although in the scheme of the story, he has a less important part to play. But at the same time, he is sort of the factor that unites everybody. So
Gotcha.
There's a lot of debate about that. But then nothing happens with that like last slot that doesn't light up until you beat it if you have your imported data. Yeah, then you play through as the twist, because there's a twist at the end finding out who the villain is. So then once you beat it, then that lights up and you play through. You see his entire story. You play through some of the same battles and things like that, but you see...
From his perspective.
Yeah, you see why he made these decisions and why he is the villain now and things like that. It's very, very cool.
Interesting. That's in 3, you said?
That's in 3. Okay. 4 is considered the bad one.
Okay.
As much as I love Suikoden, I couldn't keep playing 4.
Really?
Jacob played it through to the end, and I want to try it again. I can probably play it through to the end now, but it has a lot to do with sea travel, and it was like I was just pressing up on a field of blue for a very, very long time, and I got burnt the fuck out. 5 is supposedly great. I can't find it anywhere. It's really expensive now.
What did it come out for?
PS2.
Okay.
Jacob said he has it somewhere, but he can't find it. If he can't find it, I know I'm not going to be able to play it.
Yeah.
And then Suikoden Tactics, I have it. It is here somewhere. I have not played it yet. I hear it's not great. Tacresis, I hear, is really, really good. But it looks...
Does it take place in the dry cleaner? And like,
Tacresis! But it is more like... it looks like Tactics.
Okay.
I don't know if it plays like Tactics, but
like
the
Final
graphics...
Fantasy Tactics?
Yeah, the graphic style is like Final
So
Fantasy
it's all
Tactics.
isometric and tiled, gridded out.
The way the characters walk and things like that, it does look very similar to Tactics.
Cool.
But today what we are talking about...
So there's 5 games in the series, Tactics and Decreases. So that's 7
The German
games.
laundromat, yep.
Let's say they're all on an average of 20 hours, so you're going to owe me like 140 hours.
Yeah, if we play through the whole series... I think once you play 1, you will enjoy it, and then... Or once you get over what
spoilers,
turns you off in the first
I tried
place.
playing 1.
Yeah. If you can get over that, because it doesn't happen again in 2. 2 has a better sound effect.
I'll find the hacked version where they actually put a legit dragon sound in instead of elephantnoises.com.
But you could tell one had to be, the cover art is terrible. Like it was super low budget. Yeah.
Well, I do spoiler. I wanted to save this good quality podcasting for when we actually do talk about Suikoden. But when I did play it, and the dragon roared, and it sounded like I was fighting Dhalsim on Street Fighter 2.
It was straight up elephant.
And I was like, oh, and power button. We're done.
That's pretty close to the beginning, so yeah.
All right, sorry. So what the fuck are we talking about today?
Today's a game that I played because it's for the PlayStation Vita. I got the Vita for Persona 4 Golden and Tearaway. But after I bought it and after I beat Persona 4 and then played 3, I was like, I really gained a love for the Vita. I think the Vita is fantastic.
Yeah, you've evangelized.
I will preach to anybody that the Vita... I think the Vita is a better system than the DS. It just doesn't have the library.
Yeah.
But I was looking to build my library, so I've completely went in for Christmas. I went in blind to Amazon, saw my recommended games,
bought all the PS Vita games on Amazon. I got all 18.
Well, it's the only place you can find them. Yeah, there's not many. I think for that one Christmas, I got like 12 different Vita games that were recommended to me. Games that the genre was sort of in my wheelhouse and had like 4 or 5 stars, and then this was one of them. So this is Sorcery Saga, The Curse of the Great Curry God. But I know, this would be a good TODPOG because I know you'll never play it. You probably you shouldn't waste your time on it.
Oh, really? Spoilers?
It's not a bad game.
You just know I won't enjoy it.
Your game time is more precious than spending on this, which is
I do like curry though.
I love curry too, and it's an important element.
But okay. So my first question to you would be, how much curry is there in this game?
There's an endless amount of curry.
Does it come with actual curry?
No, it'll make you really want to eat curry though.
Oh, but I already really want to eat curry.
Like you'll want to eat it more, and you'll want to try some of the curry recipes you see in the game.
Oh, they give you curry recipes?
That's part of that. Your power system is you make your own curry out of items you find in the dungeon, and then when you make the curry, the better you make the curry, and then it gives you stat bonuses and stuff like that depending on what kind of curry you make.
So you make curry in this game.
Yep.
Is there a skill that you build up, or is it like a mini game, or is it luck how good the curry is?
It's luck. I feel like it's luck how good the curry is, or it might have to do with the ingredients. I'm not.
So it's
I'm
not a
totally
mini game.
sure.
It's not like you gather all the ingredients for curry and then you play Math Blaster for 15 minutes.
Right. No,
depending on how well you do.
You just select all the ingredients and then put them together and see what you get, because it's all outside of the dungeon crawling. There's nothing else.
So straight up Final Fantasy 11 style.
Yep.
You point a direction, you pick a direction on the compass, point that way, and then hope that it actually makes.
Because you can fail and get gross curry that poisons you. Yeah.
Is it named gross curry?
What is it named? It's maybe it's failure curry or something. And
failure curry.
It looks super gross.
Can that be the name of our next podcast? Failure
curry. So, but before I delve into that game, I'm your bearded host Tyler, and in the flavor of TODPOG, here's another show that I know I've also talked to you about, like how great it is, but I don't really think you may never watch it. And I may have talked about this before.
Okay.
But it's been a long time. I don't know how much, because I'm going to spoil the show of it if I was holding back at one point.
Okay, so you're about to spoil.
I'm about to spoil season 2 of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I'm never going to watch it. So
I didn't think you would.
You're not going to bother me doing that.
I didn't think you would.
So how much forward does someone need to go if they're like in the middle of season 2 of Friday Night Lights?
I don't know. I can rant about 10 minutes maybe. All
right, fast forward 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, rant away.
If you're really concerned, because it is the only. Friday Night Lights is an amazing show. It's a fantastic show.
I have heard that.
Except for this stupid storyline they do.
I remember you. Yes, I remember you telling me
I briefly talked about it. I don't know if I talked about it on the mics or not.
I can't remember either.
If I talked about it on the mics, it was like a long time ago.
Yes.
And I coupled it with the other show that I love that had one stupid storyline they tried to forget about, just like this one. Because I talked about Oz.
Right.
With the storyline where they give prisoners pills that make them age their sentences.
Right.
So, and they just dropped that like, fuck, this was really stupid. And that's why I feel like that's why they didn't Friday Night Lights season 2. So, spoiler and my rant about how fucking awful, nonsensical, stupid, and how it nearly ruined the show for me. Like, I wanted to quit watching it because I was like, fuck, this is really stupid. This is really bad. Like I called Jacob, and Jacob was like, dude, just push through. I know exactly what you're talking about. I felt these exact things. Power through.
Sounds like this really grinds your gears.
This is the grinds my gears segment. Because Friday Night Lights is a show about a Texas high school football team, and I don't know nothing about football. I don't enjoy football, but I enjoyed Varsity Blues, so this is on that sort of a similar wavelength. Only it's more.
I'm definitely not watching the show.
It's way more heartfelt, but it's that kind of thing where you don't have to know anything about football, but you're like, yeah, okay. He hit that guy pretty hard. I can get behind that.
I feel like you just absolved me from ever watching this show because it's like I fucking hated Varsity Blues. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. But in season 2, so there's a character who this pisses Blake off so much when I say that, because he would go on things about like who a celebrity lookalike is, and he'll be like, no, actually, I mean, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I get Brad Pitt a lot.
What?
I'm like, no, Blake, you look like Landry from Friday Night Lights. Go ahead and look that up, and I expect a chuckle whenever the picture pops up, because I mean, he does But Landry is not an attractive man.
I thought you were going to say Landry is a Pokemon character.
Landry looks like Blake if his charisma was drained like 8 points.
I'm looking it up right now. Landry, Friday night. Oh, that's like Friday Night Lights. He's in jail, apparently. Oh, that's a Google search, at least. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, I see it.
So whenever he says something along those lines on on Facebook, I immediately have to post that picture of Landry, and I'm just gonna fuck you.
Yeah.
Or DIAF is always the immediate reply.
I don't think he's not an ugly dude.
I'll show you some other pictures later.
Oh, okay. I'll show you some photos where he's sucking some cocks.
Yep. Now that'd make him more attractive. I'd be like, Blake, look who you look like. But I mean, his character is kind of a loser. He is like the tag-along best friend to Brandon Sorensen.
Brandon Eves.
It's called Brandon Eves to Sorensen, who is like the second string quarterback.
Okay.
Who, because of a tragedy, suddenly becomes the first string quarterback. And he's not super great, but they make it work.
Was the first string quarterback Locke from Lost?
That would be awesome if it was. But it's funny you make that because like the tragedy is similar to the two characters.
No, I do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just making a bad joke. I was just making a tasteless joke.
That'd be, if someone wants to recut that'd be an amazing first episode. But and then suddenly like Sorensen's more popular, so Landry becomes more popular. He's suddenly on the football team, but he's like low man on the totem pole. Mm-hmm. Kind of a loser. He falls in love with like the bad girl in the school.
The Audrey.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so this girl, like, she makes him basically keep quiet about it. And, you know, when they actually do start getting together and stuff like that.
Secret boyfriend.
And there's this scene, because it's just like a high school, I mean, it's nothing like super, super heavy, you know, except for the tragedy in the very first episode. It's just sort of like heartfelt, good comedy and drama. But there's this one point where the bad girl character, I can't remember her name at the moment. I want to say it's Hope, but I don't want to be wrong.
Let's just call her Audrey.
Audrey, okay. So Audrey, she runs away from home or something, and Landry's upset about her doing it, so he follows after her. And there's a guy who tries to rape her, and she gets away from him. And then you don't see anything happen from it again, but like there's some sort of like stalking element, and then at the end, and in season 2, like he shows up again and tries to rape her again. And
this guy can't get enough, it seems like.
Yeah.
Of attempted rape.
And so Landry kills him. Landry kills him with a brick, hits him in the head until he is dead. And then they freak out. What are they going to do? So then, like, it's just such a weird thing that, okay, Landry murdered somebody in this high school drama about football. Okay, so then they go through this whole thing about, like, disposing of the body, and they get rid of the body. And then Landry's dad is a cop. So then, like, he has to investigate it. Landry's all like, they're going to find out we murdered this guy. If we were justified in doing it, but we murdered this guy.
Had the writers been watching a lot of Dexter at the time?
Possibly.
Because it's like, if you had just started it right there and like changed the names around to like Deborah or whatever, like I would have been like, oh yeah, man, I missed this episode of Dexter. But it sounds good.
But what I think the writers kind of paint themselves into a corner with it. Like, what the fuck are we going to do? We had Landry murder a dude, and then the two of them get rid of the body and swear a pact of secrecy. And
did they cut to a courtroom with a judge? Murder is legal. Bang, bang, bang.
Well, what they do is they let Landry's dad find out, and he doesn't want his son to go to jail. So then he takes all the evidence, puts it in Landry's car because the cops look into it and find evidence against Landry. His dad figures it out, puts all the evidence in a car, drives the car to the middle of nowhere, sets the car on fire, walks away. Story point never addressed ever again.
I didn't know. I don't think you did tell me about this.
Oh, because I remember like this does not make fucking sense, and it's not even well written or well done or well, like, where are they going to go with their characters after this? Like,
where did they go with their characters after that?
They just sort of act like it didn't happen. Like like this is too weird, we can't be together now. And then they just both learn along their character arcs. But I can't help but feel like you murder somebody so they don't get raped because you're in love with them, and then you dispose of the body together. You're sort of tied together forever.
You got history. Yeah. That's for sure. Was the attempted rapist, was he like a character on the show, or was he just a guy that just showed up? Okay.
Rando.
Now, what I think would be interesting is they like go a couple seasons, let you forget about that, and then like that one of that, like a family member of that guy shows up. His mom sits up in town looking into it, like Fallout 4. Yes. Yeah, exactly. His mom gets out of cryo freeze and goes searching for her rapist son, and that's how she refers to him.
So that's that part of it. Otherwise, I think like one of my favorite shows of all time. Otherwise, that huge black eye that I just like don't understand why or how or why it was greenlit, why they thought it was a good idea. Because then, as soon as that's over, then okay, now we're all back to normal, great writing.
How long did that show go on?
5 seasons, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think in the final season, because like the coach and the coach's wife,
the ghost comes back. The ghost of the rapist comes back.
That was gonna be season 6, and I guess they got canceled. Because the best characters on the show really are the coach and his wife. And his wife is, I'm blanking on her name at the moment, but she's the redhead from American Horror Story Season 1.
Craig T. Nelson.
In
a wig. He's a drag.
And she plays Nikki in Spin City.
Okay.
And
I know who you're talking about.
She's the
I don't know her
name.
name.
Like, what's her name in Nashville now? I don't know why. I could remember it any other time but right now.
Sure.
So... Kyle, what's his name? He's also
Blackthorne.
in that. Kyle Blackthorne.
Kyle Blackthorne and Craig T. Nelson star in a football drama.
That would be amazing.
With co-starring a rapist ghost.
That's a Family Guy joke.
They're forced to live in a house together.
That's like the South Park. All the walruses take all the balls and organize them for the Family Guy joke. But that's my intro. That's my rant.
What's up, Internet? I am Dave. I am your bespectacled host, and I haven't done this or said that in a long time because we have had, up to this point, stacks on stacks on stacks of packages. I hear there's more coming.
I think I know of 3 more on the way.
That's great. So. They cannot get here soon
So
enough.
If you didn't like this, then don't worry, it's almost over.
Although look, listeners, this is an honest to God request because I don't know about you, Tyler. I've received like no feedback on when we eat things on the show, but people keep sending us things, so I assume that they like it. I listened to Wednesday's show and was like, I gotta fast forward through this. When we're eating the chicken tendies, I was like, I just can't do it. We're funny, I'm sure. 30 seconds. So anyway, I haven't done this in a long time. You would think that I would have like a plethora of like intro stories to choose from.
But I don't know, I think people trying food is just like, it might not be super appealing to us, but I know like it's a huge thing, especially on like YouTube. Like,
but
Rhett and Link have fucking built an empire on Rhett and Link.
Rhett and Link? I'm not familiar with Rhett and like from Zelda.
Yep, it's from Gone with the Wind and Zelda. Yeah. So,
man, I've always wanted those two things to come together.
No, they have a extremely high production YouTube channel where in their umbrella is Good Mythical Morning, and most of the times in Good Mythical Morning they are trying different kinds of foods to see how they are, or blind tastings if they can identify stuff, or just try these extreme foods. And
how much of the video do you feel like comes into play? Because like I can see like video making that like an appealing thing.
I think the video makes it better, but if I was listening to it and they were like vocal enough, it'd be okay.
All right. Okay. Hey, look, I am not saying I don't want to do it anymore, because I definitely want to do it because I love eating the fucking food that comes in. I'm just curious what people think. Like, because I literally have received no feedback.
Yeah, so please, like, Twitter or the Facebook comments for this episode, please let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
I mean, we're gonna keep doing it regardless of what you say,
Yeah.
but I am curious.
Because the only negative thing I got was that we were crunching those
mic,
habaneros
right.
right into the mic.
And I get that.
That wasn't saying don't stop eating them. Just lean back from the mic.
But
Okay.
also that's some people's. I mean, that's
a
some
trigger.
people's thing.
Yeah.
That's their fetish. So I scraped the bottom of the barrel. Like I checked all around the barrel and under the barrel, and I flipped it over to see if I could find the story. This is what I got. This is all I got. Okay. There is by the time this airs, the first rounds will be over, but there is a Heroes of the Storm college tournament called Heroes of the Dorm.
Which I looked stupid when you were telling me about that yesterday.
You did not look stupid. Everyone, you had the same reaction. Everybody who does not know
and I hate that
about the tournament has had. And I mean, it wasn't the exact response, but it's like everyone thinks that this tournament, which is called Heroes of the Dorm, everybody that I've sent a message to about it or had mentioned it to thinks it's an autocorrect. And it's one of those things where it's like, some people I just let it go. With you, however, you were lucky enough where it was hilarious because
I was trying to make jokes that you were like, no, it's a thing.
No, your jokes were like dead on because it's like, yeah, Heroes of the Dorm. You're like, that'd be like a really funny name for a college tournament. Yeah, that's what it is. that's exactly what it is. So it's a tournament, and like in the spirit of March Madness, there are brackets. They have a bracket tournament. So the viewers at home can play along and a chance for big money, big prizes. And I was filling mine in. I am a fucking dork because you can fill it out online, like on their site. But there's a notice that says your selections are final on the site.
You can't make your rough draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm not a total crazy dude.
Making it final, no, you have to do a rough draft.
So I did a rough draft. So what I did was I found a blank bracket template that I printed off. I'm putting
from some tournament called the INSA. INSA.
Inca. Apparently it's something they just used to do in Central America. The Incas would do this. And I don't know. So I printed out a blank bracket, and I was, in my off time at work, I was, filling it in. Someone I worked with came in and saw me, and they said, "Oh, are you filling out your bracket?" I was like, "Yep." Did not even enter my mind that he here's my thought. Man, this guy is cool. He knows about the Heroes of the Dorm tournament. I didn't even know that he played Heroes of the Dorm. I even knew about it. So I'm just I'm just filling it out.
You want to get on the office pool? There's an office pool? Yeah, man.
So I continue to fill it out, just all happy or whatever. And he says, "Where have you put UK?" And I'm like, by the way, UK does not have a presence in Heroes of the Dorm.
Uthgar Crimson Heart? Nowhere.
So I, for a moment, I paused and I was like, I've got two options. I could either own up that I am not filling out a March Madness bracket, or I can just let it ride. I chose to let it ride.
Good call.
And no, not a good call, because since then he has come in my office to talk about the games that I am not watching. I have no fucking clue. And it's like,
record this so from a Todd Margaret style.
That's exactly how I feel. Because it's like he was talking about a game today that I had no fucking clue about. And I was just trying to be I was trying to conversate with him in the most general basketball terms that I knew. Because I was like, how were the free throws in that game? Were there a lot of layups? I don't know.
I bet there were a lot of picks set.
So yes, that's
with copious amounts of traveling.
That's my story. I am putting way too much effort in this the odds of getting a bracket right, because Blizzard's got this tournament going on for the bracket challenge. If you the person who gets the most accurate bracket wins $10,000. I do not expect to win $10,000 at all. But what Blizzard's so like good at manipulating me that they're like, don't worry about it. Top 500, they get a free Heroes of the Storm skin, and I am under the delusion that I could be in the top 500 brackets.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Those are like, but like bracket odds are like fucking astronomical.
I mean, just call up Nate Silver. I mean, get some of the like algorithms and stuff set up. Like, it's fine. Look up, because what John Oliver did an episode about all of those like one-day fantasy football sites.
Yeah, the gambling sites.
Yeah, and it's how, because they're completely unregulated, 100% unregulated. Like,
right now,
it's so fucked up. Yeah, and like in other states, like they have worked through loopholes and things like that to avoid everything. So like it's such a it's a fucking stupid, awful thing to do. Like, it talks about people winning so much. It's like a small handful of statistics geniuses that have got onto this, and they're making the $1 million.
Oh, so. And you heard about he may have covered this as well, but I heard that people from one company they were taking their analytics and using that information to make teams on the competitors, and they were doing this both ways.
That's good.
So I don't know how that works out in the end, but I do know that, I mean, some people probably made
everybody gets screwed.
Yeah.
All the customers get screwed. So unless you're working for them or a stats genius, don't fucking worry about it.
I have not heard, because like those two companies were like really big in like podcast advertising
and something else.
Yeah, I can't remember. DraftKings, I know for sure. You're right. But I haven't heard a thing from them recently.
Because I know they were really coming under fire for a lot of their shit. So,
well, I read the full rules to the Blizzard Heroes of the Dorm bracket challenge, and I'm feeling okay, it's limited to the United States, so that's good.
That's better.
Already knock out everybody
Get those
else.
Koreans out of there.
That's right. Because no chance against them.
Yep.
And there's also, I guess, states that have strict gambling laws. So it like knocks 5 states out. So I'm like, all right, I'm only competing with 40 people in 45 other states. Mm-hmm. That it can't stop them from entering. But I think Blizzard's banking on that. They're like, please let someone from a state we can't pay win.
But $10,000 is like, that's 30 minutes of WoW.
Yeah.
So
or it used to be.
Yeah. It's still
big.
I still wonder. I still want to know what their gross is, but okay. It's pretty good.
That's all I got, man.
That was good. I think that was good.
That's all I got.
That was good.
So tell me about Sorcery, Sorcery Saga, :
Yep.
The Curse of the Curry God.
Great Curry God.
Shit. Mm-hmm. Is the prequel just the Curry God?
Yeah. the mediocre, the blessing of the mediocre Curry God.
What is the name of the Great Curry God?
Great Curry God.
That's it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
To my knowledge.
Does he have a temple? Or she have a temple?
It's like heavens, like a heavenly tower or something like that. It's the bonus dungeon.
Okay.
But
it's the name of a cult, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But, so Sorcery Saga, The Curse of the Great Curry God, is a very, very, very Japanese-style roguelike grid dungeon crawler.
Okay.
So it starts off, you are playing Pooparoo. She is a magical girl who goes to like magical school, and whenever you're going to graduate the magical school, you have to go to this one tower, climb to the top, and get this orb and bring it back. Then you graduate. You're good.
You skipped over Pooparoo?
Pooparoo.
Like
Pururu. Pururu?
Pururu. Okay, so not a baby kangaroo with the squirts.
Right.
Pooparoo. That was the weirdest episode of Winnie the Pooh I saw as a kid.
Pururu.
The one where Roo just shat all up in his mom's vagina.
Oh.
You're welcome. That's what a kangaroo pouch is, right?
Yeah.
It's just like an external vagina, I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure, like, yes. They love it when you reach down in there. They love it.
Okay, so you got to go get the temple and do the thing.
Because you go and you play through, like, I think the temple is like 5 floors long, but it's roguelike in every time you start a dungeon, you are level 1, you have, like, no equipment, or whatever equipment you bought into town.
Yeah.
In town, and then go in with. That's all you have. So throughout the course of the dungeon, you are killing things and leveling up and taking loot, and then figuring out what you can equip, what items you can use.
Okay. And it
to get to the top.
resets each time you go into a dungeon?
If you leave the dungeon and come back, you start off level 1 again.
Interesting.
And
okay, that's a cool concept. I like that. It's kind of like, it sounds like a roguelike in that regard.
yeah, there are some items that will carry over.
If you, what happens if you die in there?
You lose everything.
Okay, so
You start off level 1. Like,
okay,
there is a checkpoint halfway through usually where you can go back to town because like inventory management is key.
Gotcha.
And then so you can go back and unload and go back again, and then
you're level 1 when you come back.
no, not if you use the checkpoint.
Oh, okay.
But if you die or you can use an exit potion accidentally,
Town
you
portal,
go back,
quote unquote.
yeah, and then you're level 1 again, start at the bottom floor.
Gotcha. So how many times can you use the checkpoint? Is it unlimited use? Or
You can't go back down. Once you go up a floor, you can't go back down.
Gotcha. How many floors are there?
It depends. It depends on the dungeon. Like the first one's like 5, and then I think it goes. The next one's like then 20, 30, 40, and then 50 on the standard game.
So far, I like the sound of this
The
game.
bonus dungeon is like 200 floors.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
So, yeah.
But I mean, so I like this core concept.
Yeah, and then at the top of the tower where you would find the orb, you instead find this weird-looking rabbit monster named Ku, K-U-U.
Okay.
And then, because you as the player cannot understand Ku, but Pururu can.
Okay.
So, like, what did you do? And it just chitters at you. You ate the orb, now I can't graduate. And then it, like, burps and vomits up a book.
Okay.
And she's like, okay, maybe this will do. She goes back down. They're like, you failed. No, this guy ate it. Doesn't matter. You didn't come back with it. You fail. Go back home. So then she goes back to, like, her hometown with this book, and it turns out it's a book of curry recipes that she likes looking through it. She gets very invested in it. When she goes back to her hometown, she goes to her favorite curry shop.
Okay.
And it's like, then this is sort of the anime tropey, like, small, humble person who makes, like, the best curry, but, like, has no customers or whatever.
Sure. And she has to protect them from ninjas who harass him on a regular basis.
Sort of, because
someone harasses them.
Big Curry comes into town, like corporate curry, like the corporate
please
curry
tell me
chain.
that's what it's called, Big Curry.
It's something, like, they talk about the corporate curry chains that are ruining curry and things like that. I can't remember what it's called.
Is it by Curious?
Now we have to open that. And we serve it in either a vagina-shaped dish or a dick-shaped dish.
Yeah, one is easier to eat out of than the other.
The other, you just have to, like, take, like, a bong and it's just...
Or it's sauce. It's extra sauce.
But then, like, the corporate curry restaurant is putting him out of business.
Sure.
And then she opens that book. She's like, maybe we can find something here to give you some new delicious curries that can help you out in your business. And like at the end of the book, she finds the recipe for the legendary curry.
Okay.
That can like, it's so delicious and like supposedly it grants special powers and you get like wishes and things like that if you can
never
assemble
had curry
the
like
legendary
that.
curry.
That sounds great.
And then, but she's been into town and the book attracts the attention of like this witch who kind of helps you interpret some of the book that you can understand.
Were you censoring yourself then, or is she a legit witch?
No, she's legit
Oh,
witch.
okay.
Yeah. I'm all about censorship. Ryan's home if you hear that burr.
There's the high-rise garage door.
And so she helps you interpret the book and basically tells you, oh, here are all the recipe components. So then you have to go to all the various dungeons in the area to beat the boss and get the legendary curry recipe, like the golden carrot and, shit like that.
Uh-huh.
So, but at the same time, then there is another sort of anime trope. There is a evil, in quotes, perverted, in quotes, wizard who is
Not
also wanting...
He's certainly a wizard.
But he is a wizard who wants the legendary curry for his own evil, nefarious... but he's very Tobias-like, and all the things that he says end up being taken as being perverted, but he doesn't mean them like that.
Gotcha.
And then, as you're going through like the first dungeon, Pururu meets up with like the King of Demons, who is just like this typical anime character, but has like horns. and he falls in love with Pururu and does everything he wants to try and be with her, and she tells him essentially to fuck off. She's not interested, and he becomes obsessive, and he is someone who basically trails you throughout the whole course of the game. And then he has his fiance, who is like this...
Catherine.
Well, she's like this attractive, large-breasted, scantily clad woman who, of course, hates Pururu now.
Sure.
She's taking her fiance.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand why he'd ever want to be with a flat-chested girl like that.
I don't understand it either.
Quote unquote. So, like, the first dungeon.
His fiance sounds great. What's the other girl got? She just talks to rabbits?
Yeah,
Fuck that.
So weird rabbit monsters. Yeah. So, like, you can set at your home. That's when there are some items that are a certain color that you can keep in and out of dungeons.
Okay.
So, like, your weapon and your shield, and a select amount of one-use items you can take with you.
Okay.
And then
everything else gone. Okay.
In town, then you have the option, like, it's really expensive, but you can upgrade, the weapons, the armor, and add enchantments onto them and things like that.
Okay.
All through Ku. But Ku is also like, he is basically a glutton monster. Like
But I've heard he's a pervert.
No, the wizard's a pervert.
Oh.
The rabbit monster is not a pervert.
Fuck, the rabbit monster's Ku?
The rabbit monster.
I'm already off.
Because the whole thing sort of revolves around Ku being constantly hungry.
Okay.
So when you go into then from this point on, he accompanies you in all the dungeons and follows you around. And he is sort of like your backup. He still attacks enemies and things like that too. So all of the weapons and things, and armor and items and scrolls and things like that you find in the dungeon, you can then feed to Ku. If you don't want them, feed them to him.
He's your fat chocobo, or
basically. And then, like, the more items you give him, he levels up. And then depending on the item that you give him, he will gain skills and traits and things like that. So then you kind of pick what things you want to give him based on the items.
I couldn't do it. Because it's like, I assume you feed him everything that's going to disappear when you leave the dungeon, right?
Yep.
I couldn't do that because I would, man, that sounds...
Well, you can also, like, they're also, like, if you have a +5 sword and you get a +1 knife, you won't want to feed it to Ku, but then you use, like, you can also... It's kind of the thing, like, you have to get this skill on Ku as soon as you can, which is to where you can upgrade things for free in the dungeon.
Like upgrade your armor?
Yeah, normally you can only do it outside of town and it's expensive.
Right.
But there are some equipment that can give Ku the ability to do it for free in the dungeon.
You have to feed him something?
You have to feed him a certain item. But if you feed him that, and then you go throughout the whole rest of the dungeon, taking your equipment that you can keep and just upgrade. Like, in the game, I had like a +42 sword. Like, you just want to keep throwing on enchantments and items, and you can combine things like that to your weapons and your shield. Your sword and your shield are basically that's your equipment.
Those are the only two things you have to worry about?
Only two things you have to worry about.
You know how bad I am with, like, consumables? Like, I would be so, like, afraid to feed Ku something that, like, I would turn out. It's like, nope, you needed that. You needed those 58 black feathers you collected.
You get a lot, because then you also get curry ingredients. So some of those you'll want to feed him, but then others you take, like, 5 of them and make curry.
Because you want him. Okay, so the curry gives you abilities when you make it?
If Pururu eats it, then she will get, like, depending on the curry, she get a big stat to her strength, health regen, she moves twice as fast, all sorts of huge different stats.
Temporary effect?
Temporary.
Okay,
yep.
So they're like potions.
Yeah, so it's like a number of steps. It's all on a grid. So when you step, the enemies step as well, and you can see the grid and everything like that. So it'll last, depending on what it is or how well you made it, is how many steps you'll get out of it.
Okay.
And then you can also give it to Ku, and he will get those stat bonuses and maybe a skill or whatever.
All right.
There are also, sometimes the items he can take, sometimes he can't. Sometimes you throw it and he will level up and gain a skill, but it'll also poison him. And if he dies, he's down for like 10 steps, then he pops right back up and finds you again.
He regenerates.
Yep.
You don't like him at first, but then you start to love him after like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yep, exactly. So, like, you always need, as soon as you can, you have to get the item upgrade bonus on Ku, and where all your shit is automatically identified. Because sometimes you'll pick up question mark, question mark, question mark, sword. And you'll have to get like a scroll of identification before you can do anything with it besides feed it to Ku.
Okay.
But there is a skill you can give him where everything automatically IDs on pickup if he has it. So those two were critical. Everything else, just depending on the situation. Like you can get beams where his attack will go throughout the entire, like in a straight line for 10 squares, and there's some where he's immune to fire attacks and
So he's a big,
that kind of stuff.
So he can be a big deal in combat,
How you
too.
set him out, can be a big deal.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to be the damage dealer for the most part, but you can also, like, if you feed him like everything, you can make him like a level 10 times higher than you because all your experience is based on monsters you kill.
Okay. And his level doesn't reset when you leave a dungeon?
It resets as well.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So yeah, his skills and his level reset as well.
So really what you're doing is the goal to progress, I assume, is just to build your sword and your shield up. Yeah?
Yeah, toward the end of the game.
Because, I mean, really nothing else.
They stay with you.
Yeah.
So.
And nothing else does.
Right.
Okay.
And then you find tons of different kind of potions, and then curry all resets as well, like everything but those 2 items.
Uh-huh.
But it's also very easy to accidentally feed Ku your plus 36 sword or shield or.
There's no. Are you sure you want to feed Ku?
Nope. You just chuck it. Yep. So I fucked up several times doing that.
Did you go back to a previous save or?
Because you can't save between floors or anything. You have to get halfway to be able to go back to town or save or not. Other than
could you like just throw the power on it? Like just be like, oh, I accidentally fed him the sword. Power off.
I mean, and then I'd restart the whole dungeon again. But I could do that. Yeah.
So
most of the
sometimes
time,
you don't want to do that.
Sometimes like I've done so much shit like this, I'll just find another one and do it again. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. I think I would have quit.
Or I'll accidentally. I didn't beat the bonus dungeon. I ended up quitting at that. 200 floors. I got to like 170, and it froze, and I quit. I'm just like, nope.
Man.
It froze on me 2 other times, like in like a 30 and a 40, that I had to restart all over again.
Is that like a known issue with the game?
I've read people have some issues with glitchiness, and you have to restart.
Oh God!
So
no.
I mean, I ran into it twice, but even twice, it sucks in a roguelike.
Sure,
it sucks.
Especially 200 levels of a dungeon. Yeah.
Or I'll get like, I'm almost to the end, and I'll accidentally take like a potion that makes me go back to town, and then all right, gotta do it all over again. So it's brutal in that regard. It's roguelike quality is fucking brutal.
Yeah, that part sounds awful. Actually, that sounds like a huge turnoff for me.
But then you can find like special items that you can then unlock, like funny little cutscenes and extra things you can do, like when you go back to town. And then, I mean, you'll because if you finish the dungeon, then you go back to town with all of your items and things like that. If you die, you lose all of them when you go back to town. So when you finish it, go back to town, you can sell everything and then buy a bunch of stuff as soon as you get back to upgrade equipment, or go and spend that money to upgrade at your home. Or do you have to do like that? But the story is comical and lighthearted, because then like corporate curry guy then hires like a trio of buffoons who are always trying to stop you, and like you usually have to fight all of them, that the trio always fucks up. You have to fight the evil wizard at one point.
Yeah.
You have to fight the demon king and his fiance at one point. So it's just Pururu and Ku trying to
versus the world.
Yep.
Except for the old curry guy.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah, and he's just like, thank you, this is very nice.
What's the art style like?
I would compare it. I'm trying to think. It's nice looking. It's pretty. It's a very pretty game.
I mean, I assume it's anime styled.
It's modern anime style of art. And then but you're in the dungeon, that's when the graphics go down a whole lot, because that's when it looks like a newer style, like 3D. Like the actual end game doesn't look great, but all the cutscenes and talking and things like that are all like look like hand drawn anime.
So like
it's
in
really nice.
like in the dungeon, it's like 3D models and
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. Is it voice acted?
Yes, but the voice acting is Japanese.
Okay.
I think
so. You're
I think it's only Japanese. Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer that? By the way, this is a random question. Do you like in games where like, because like Bravely Default, you could turn on Japanese dialogue with subtitles, or you could just do English. Do you have a preference?
I'm always going to go English, but if it's not an option, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay. I also like English just because it's more convenient because it's like I can eat a sandwich and like watch a cutscene at the same time as opposed to like having my eyes glued on the screen so I don't miss a word.
Now I usually only watch anime that has that option, so I don't have to be paying strict attention to the screen.
Yeah.
Except for Shippuden. That's fine. I'll watch Naruto Shippuden. And it was the transition between watching the voice acting into the dub or the subtitles was easy. Like it doesn't bother me at all to do that.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times American, or I say American, but English voice acting is usually annoying in comparison to Japanese voice acting. The Japanese voice, across the board for animes and games, Japanese voice acting usually sounds better than English voice acting.
Yeah, I think like dubs have gotten like so much better than when I watched anime in the 90s. Because like there's some like I remember when I started watching anime in the 90s, it was like everyone who got me into it was like never ever ever watch a dub. Like you'll love anime, just don't watch a dub because it will spoil your view on it. Because fucking dubs in the 90s really really sucked. They were like comically bad.
Yeah, because I know in like Naruto, for example, the nine-tailed fox's voice in English is bad.
I've never heard Naruto in English.
And then, but the Japanese nine-tailed fox is like it's the way I would imagine it, like a low bass, growly, like but you can understand like the syllables. Like in the English version, he's so.
Well, they hired Rush Limbaugh, right, to do Nine Tails?
It's Rush Limbaugh choking on something. He's so growly, he's hard to understand. And, like, I feel sorry for the voice actor because it doesn't sound like... He doesn't sound intelligent. It's so, like, growling over the top in English.
Do you think the direction was, all right, did you ever watch Sonic the Hedgehog? Yes, great. All right, now imagine Miles 30 years in the future.
Like, we want you to just have, like... Just like your throat, like you have a voice box, like you have the hole in your throat from smoking for too long. That's how it is. That's how I want you to go with it. All right.
Can you do the rest of the episode as the English Ninetales, please?
And then, I can't even fucking. It's so bad. It's so bad because it hurts my voice listening to it because it's just so gravelly. But anyway, let's see. Because you go through. I mean, the story is cute, lighthearted, funny, dealing with everybody. Because it turns out like the demon, the king of demons, keeps referring to Ku as father, and Ku seems like he won't tell you. He's like, I don't know what the fuck.
So
his
Ku
deal
is the devil.
Well, it turns out Ku ate the devil, so he's eaten everything, including the overall king of demons.
You don't know it, but you just named Kanye West's next album. Ku Ate the Devil. Coming 2017.
And I mean, it entertained me enough, and the floor is like progressed far enough. There's not a ton of variety in the enemies. The enemies are super over the top comical, like a maize corn, which is like a humanoid piece of corn, maize spelled M-A-I-Z-E.
Sure. That
you can tell it gets stronger because it changes color, and there are like 6 types of enemies who just are different, colored differently or whatever. The boss battles are always fun when you get to the final floor. It'd be like,
are they fucking scary as shit because you've just gone through hundreds of floors and you're like, please God, don't.
Because then I kept being like,
one shot.
This is it. God, this is it. And then whenever I get to that final floor, cutscene, music change, and then I'm just like fucking making all sorts of curry and casting like buffering spells and shit like that, because then you also find magic and set magic spells and shit like that you can do.
Are there
heal being the most important one, really?
Sure. Are there different levels of difficulty that you choose, or is it just all one difficulty?
I don't recall selecting difficulty.
Okay.
But and then what really spoilers if anybody wants to play this game.
It doesn't sound bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm not fucking around when I'm like, yeah, this actually sounds. It sounds pretty good.
And it's easy to play on Vita because like the Vita has a very good like power off feature that just is
puts it like in a save state.
Basically puts it to sleep. Yeah. So I could just play for a little while, hit that save, the power off button, not the power. Like you hold it, turn it off, but you just hit it into
suspended state. The sleep mode.
So that just made playing that game much easier.
Is this a PS Vita exclusive game?
Yep.
All right.
It is.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's on Steam or anything like. It would go well on Steam, but I believe it's only Vita exclusive.
How long is this game?
Because I don't feel like I played it for if you don't fuck up a lot and have to keep going over and over and over again, like 10 to 15 hours maybe.
That's not too bad.
Because they're like 5 or 6 dungeons, and then the final one being like 200 floors. Where you go and confront the great curry god.
I'm going to check out howlongtobeat.com and see what the average is. The average is probably going to be high because there's probably a lot of like completion.
Because I can see like, man, because if you go through that 200, and then whenever I was like, I feel like I should know the ending of this game. So like it took me a little while to find it because everybody was like, I died toward the end or my screen froze toward the end. I made one bad move and got ganked, so I don't want to finish this. Tell me how it ends.
Not bad. Not bad. How long to beat? Main story average is 23 hours. But see, it's weird because it's like main plus extras average is 16 hours. So I don't know how the plus extras is shorter.
Because I would say I don't think I spent. I mean, I wasn't trying to blaze through it or anything, but I do not think I spent 23 hours on this game. I would say it's a lot closer to 16.
All right. That sounds doable, honestly. So, this sounds like a pretty cool game.
So it's, like, I wasn't like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, but I was thoroughly entertained and enjoyed the experience. And it's good for just a blind purchase because I wanted to build my Vita library.
Why did you buy it? Because of the funny name?
I do love curry and the funny name, and then like it just had a lot of really, really good Amazon reviews, and it was like $20. And like, 'cause Vita games are just so hard to find.
Yeah.
Like I think our local Walmart has like 3 at any given time.
They're probably all racing games.
The racing games or Mortal Kombat. I think it's Final Fantasy X, Mortal Kombat, and a racing game.
Yeah.
And they're all like $40 or $50. So no,
thanks.
no.
I wonder if I can find a cheap Vita.
Because I probably have like 25 Vita games that I've all bought. Like, because that's where sort of the weird Japanese games are. They're all JRPGs.
Sure.
Weird Japanese games, all on the Vita. So
I did, as you were talking earlier, I did a quick Google search for how many PS Vita games there are. Mm-hmm. There's actually a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a lot.
Because it's doing well in Japan. It's not doing well
I don't
here.
know how many of those are US released games, but the list I scrolled through, I mean, I was surprised by the number of games.
So, I mean, I don't regret the time I spent into this game. I don't regret buying it. I think it was not great, but pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. You got anything else about it?
No, it's about it. I mean, cute story. It ends up like you. I mean, should I spoil it? Should I talk about it?
The ending?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, let's not.
No? Okay, it's up to you. It sounds good, but it's very, there's a very slim chance that I would ever play
because it's like, it's standard, like, young adult anime funny. Like it's.
Okay.
So I recommend if you're just looking for something kind of like light and fun, but the gameplay can be sort of challenging, it's about right.
So Pikachu shows up at the end.
Fuck yeah, he does.
Okay.
Ku looks like a cross between Pikachu and Chansey.
And Margaret. Oh, okay.
And Margaret. Lol, it's not Anne Margaret.
All right. Well, if you're done with that, I actually forgot to do something earlier.
All right, let's do it.
There was something that I wanted to mention. I did a little research, Tyler. Last episode, Ruby Baron Paul Kluel sent us a package that we opened on the show. And in that package was a variety of hot sauces. And one of those had just a great name, had the best fucking name. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The dad one?
Pittsburgh Dad.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Dad. So, on the bottle, do you remember what it said? It had a phrase on the bottle.
Oh, the Yitsy eggs or
Yes.
Dippy eggs.
It's
Yits on Dippy eggs.
Yins can put it on Dippy eggs. And it bugged me so much that I looked it up. I want to thank somebody, Brett Miller, on Facebook helped try to solve this. He offered up on Facebook, he thinks that Yins are young people. He thinks. And in parentheses, youngins, which it made sense to me, and it reminded me of Utes from My Cousin Vinny. That's the first thing I thought of. However, I did some research. I uncovered some things. I would love to share that with you if you don't mind.
I would like to know what this is.
Okay, yins is essentially y'all, but for Pittsburghians. Oh. So instead of saying y'all, like y'all having a good time, they would be like yins having a good time.
I don't understand how that one works as much as you all being y'all, but okay.
Let's see. It's short for, here's Urban Dictionary. Top definition says yins, short for you ones.
Okay.
Could also be used in place of you guys, you all, or y'all. Their example is yins going to Distillers game.
Okay. All right. The Northern y'all. All right.
Northern y'all. Pittsburgh y'all. And then, so that solves half of that equation. The other half is...
the very important part.
What the fuck is dippy eggs? So guess what else is on Urban Dictionary? Dippy eggs. Here's the top definition for dippy eggs. Eggs over easy so you can dip your toast, sausage, bacon, etc. in them. Said a lot in Pittsburgh, PA. The example is a mom saying, honey, do you want dippy eggs or scrambled eggs? The response being, I want some dippy eggs. Probably not with that. I wouldn't talk to my mommy like that, so they probably didn't either. I also, this is very important, second definition for dippy eggs on Urban Dictionary. To dip one's penis in one's vagina. Yee, bro, I dippy egged that soccer mom while she put a sock in my Gandhi's flip-flop, is the example for that. Third definition for dippy egg. The act of stretching one's scrotum sack down his or her leg. I don't know why. I don't think loves these sloppy Jews, which is the name of the user who submitted this. By the way, we've had two definitions that Urban Dictionary was like, no, thank you. That is an inside joke. Meanwhile, loves the sloppy Jews can just slide them in one after the other. The act of stretching one's scrotum sack down his/her leg until reach maximum length while having a testicle in the middle. This resembles an egg, being the testicle, the yolk, the sac, the egg whites. Here's the example. Jake Scheinberg is the king of dippy egging. He can even do it when it's freezing out. That's a quote from Austin DeBow. We had two definitions. The Urban Dictionary was like, no thanks. We'll pass on this one. Meanwhile,
guess what?
that
Church
gets right through.
basement was refused.
Church basement was refused and strategically got on there.
Got on.
I cannot remember the other one.
Probably Gooter, right?
I think Gooter might already be on there. By the way, have we talked about this? Gooter, is it Gooder or Gooter?
I always imagined it was D.
Okay, what's your word?
Because I think being young, I probably was trying to go goober, and it came out Gooter.
Gooter with a D is not in Urban Dictionary as a young boy's penis.
Well, it needs to be on there.
It is. Gooter, Tyler, with a T, Gooter, is when her gut sticks out further than her hooters! ! Thank you, HSI lived. Yeah. All right. So that's that. That's mystery solved.
Yeah.
No longer a cold case. Yin's dippy eggs.
I love dippy eggs.
Out of it.
Love dippy eggs.
I do too.
I love making 3 to 4 dippy eggs over rice. A little bit of soy sauce, sriracha, green onion.
Ooh.
I love it.
That sounds really good.
That's one of my, if I have rice on hand, that is a very standard snack, dinner, breakfast, whatever.
Yeah?
Yep.
Sounds pretty fucking healthy too.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, considering alternatives.
Yeah, it's true.
Gem donuts, you know. And the other thing is Master of Coin. Is he Master of Coin or is he former Master of Coin?
He's upped his pledge a lot.
Okay,
so I think he's Master of Coin again.
Okay. I couldn't remember. Master of Coin, Ryan, loved when we sang "Show Me That Knife Again." So I don't know if you have. I mean, I was just throwing that out there. Maybe you have an idea, something else we could sing. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'd be happy to. I would be happy to give an encore.
Because I don't know. I mean, will it? Is it? I don't know. I don't think it's something we can force. I think it has to be
Just
like
organic.
Organic.
So can we just keep that in mind for the future?
Yes.
And then maybe it'll come up.
See how many 80s, 90s theme song we can parallel into what we're talking about?
Yeah, okay. All right.
I'm on board.
So new challenge. Tyler,
Yes,
you just
Dave.
stroked your beard.
I did.
You have a beard for this game.
I do.
Okay, we don't know how the TODPOG format really goes. So Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
It's like whenever Naruto is eating Ichiraku ramen and like somebody like Konohamaru runs by and bumps him and his face goes in the bowl of ramen and he sets back up and he's got like the food and juice dripping off from his face.
Yeah.
That beard.
Okay, I like it. What kind of ramen was that?
Ichiraku?
Ichiraku. The only reason I ask is because I'm really glad that you put ramen after it. Otherwise, I was like, I missed the episode where Naruto went down on that person.
Ichiraku, the guy in the hidden leaf with the herpes.
Why are you so itchy, Raku? Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game like a pair of glasses or something, what kind of glasses do you think you would give it?
It would be sort of the tropey, swirly lenses, a pair of glasses that are also like semi-broken, and they have like a teardrop coming off on one side and like wavy lines of somebody who has glasses who has just seen somebody naked.
Gotcha.
So
They're embarrassed?
yeah, the embarrassed, aroused, shameful Japanese seeing someone naked
Okay.
glasses.
Okay. Are there naked people in this game?
The large-breasted characters are animated with very few clothes.
Characters?
Because there's Pururu's best friend, who is very busty, and her school teacher, who's
Her name
very
is
busty.
Tickle Bitties.
Biddo Tiggies and Tiggo Bitties are the two. Fuck.
I can't wait.
Fuck those
I
people in
cannot
Final Fantasy
wait
11.
to talk about Final Fantasy 11. Just to talk about. I hope that when we talk about Final Fantasy 11, we finally do that episode with Miller and we bring up Tickle Bitties. I pray that one of our listeners is like, I was Tickle Bitties.
Because God, four people I'll never fucking forget in that game. Biddo Tiggies, Tiggo Bitties. I farted.
I farted. Yep. God.
And then Drakengard, the guy who scammed me.
Drakengard,
Yep.
right. Yeah. Okay. Tyler, Drakengard is me. I've been waiting a long time to tell you this, but I really needed the money and I couldn't.
Got your 2,000 gil just sitting here in my pocket.
Yeah, I was too proud to
Sure,
ask.
I gave you like 300,000 when you came back, but still.
I needed that. I needed that 2,000 extra.
No. That's all I got.
That's all. I'm sorry that I didn't know that beards and glasses were on the itinerary. Otherwise,
That's
I
okay.
wouldn't have interjected.
I didn't have
all that.
I can't remember if there were achievements or not, so I didn't make any achievements. Just beards and glasses.
That's good.
Yeah.
Would you rather eat curry or play this game?
Eat curry. I'd rather eat curry than a lot of things, but
Eat curry every day.
yeah, a day.
Yeah, I'm down with
And
that.
this is like the curry you make in the game is more like Indian style curry.
Yeah,
Because like Thai style curry is more like soup.
sure.
And then this, you can tell it's like a thick curry over rice every dish. So, which I think curry is one of like the best foods in the world, period.
Like objectively,
Objectively, I think
Sure.
curry is one of the best foods out there, period.
why? Why is that? Just the way it tastes, or
The way it tastes and like the thing I love about Indian food that is so different is, okay, say in like America, all our flavors have to be like, oh, these are all complementary flavors that all reflect well off each other, blah, blah, blah. But in Indian, it's just like, let's combine flavors that are the polar opposites of each other. And so you get something that is so, because Indian food is so different than anything else you get, like smell, fragrance, appearance, like it's totally different. So I just feel like it's so different. And then curry comes in so many different flavors and colors, and the color makes a difference between yellow, green, red.
sure.
So, yeah, I feel like because there's enough variety of taste, flavor, texture, meats you can add in, vegetables you can add in, like curry's versatile and wonderful.
I am envious of you because you can pick up on that stuff. Like I can't, but I love curry. But like when I eat curry, I'm like, this is good. I'm not like I don't know why it's good. I can't even put the taste into words. You know what I mean? Like I can't even describe how it tastes.
It's hard to describe because it's a mishmash of completely things that normally like the American palate are just like they don't make sense.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I've ever asked you this. I know my answer. I know why I like spice. I know why I like spicy hot food. Why do you like spicy hot food?
I like it when spice has flavor. So I like the flavor component that is spiciness.
I kind of thought that was going to be
I also like it also makes you feel. I like the way it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Spiciness makes you physically feel something that other dimensions of flavor don't.
I love hot sauce, but I like hot spicy things. I like spicy things for the heat. And people will always say, "Yeah, I like heat, but it's got to have a good flavor." I don't really care about the flavor.
Okay.
I just want the heat. I want to feel that chemical burn on my tongue.
Yeah. Like I would rather have. I'm always gonna want. Just comparing Dave's sauces.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna choose Carolina Reaper over Ghost Pepper. I mean, granted, Carolina Reaper is hotter, but I like the way Carolina Reaper tastes and the way the burn hits you a lot more than Ghost Pepper.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I would retract what I said a little bit because Ghost Pepper. There's something about the flavor that's weird to me. I don't know what it is. I've got Dave's Ghost Pepper sauce at home, and I checked the label because I was like, "How does this compare against the Insanity?" Because I thought that Insanity was really high. The Ghost Pepper is as an additional plus.
So it's supposed to be hotter.
It's
than
supposed
the
to be
Insanity?
hotter, and I'm not convinced that scale is accurate.
Yeah, I'm not either.
And maybe it's because that Insanity we had just opened it. I don't know, and maybe my Ghost Pepper sauce had lost potency in the fridge,
that
or
might be it.
I don't know. But I haven't tried the Carolina Reaper. I'd like to though.
Yeah, it's over in the fridge at my parents' house.
Does it have three plus signs?
Because I feel like it's the hottest. Last time I looked, it was the hottest one available.
Do you want to call your mom right now on the show?
Could you bring us some? Could you go to Hardee's, get us some tendies, and then bring it over? Because then I've also got, and I think it's hotter in this form. Is I have Carolina Reaper powder that you blow in people's eyes like a ninja. April O'Neil. I like to put that on like sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's good for seasoning, but like a little bit
flakes.
of fucking yeah. Well, it's almost like sand. It's a very fine, fine powder.
I think I've had that, or maybe it wasn't the Carolina Reaper. Maybe it was a different kind of.
Because Ryan works with a lot of, because he is a computer programmer, and he works with a lot of Indians at his job place.
Yeah,
and they're always bringing in extremely spicy foods, and they always tell Ryan like, no, we handle anything. You know, Americans don't know what hot is, blah blah blah. So then I gave him some of that Carolina Reaper powder. Right. Like, take this to them and see what they say about you after this. So he came in, they tried it, and
3 of them died that day.
They were all like, their eyebrows went up. Like it wasn't too much for them, but they were all like, okay, that's hot. That is hot. One guy, like, I guess he was a little badass because he put on a whole little, like, there was like a teaspoon of it in his hand, and he just licked it, and then like he acted like, oh, nothing. And he immediately, like, then you just saw his face just change a different array of colors. He just got up and went to the bathroom immediately and didn't come back. So
his head exploded.
Yeah.
In there. He regrew a new one. He looked a little different. Like when a lizard loses its tail and it grows back that like little twisted black tail. So his face looked like.
So that's a good comparison for like how hot is the Carolina Reaper? Hot enough that Indian people wanting to impress white people will acknowledge that, okay, that's hot.
That's probably the most racist thing we're going to leave in the podcast.
Well, clearly they're not going to like almost anything Ryan gives them. This is hot. That's not hot. Like anybody that transcends like Alton Brown did a thing about this.
Yeah,
that he thinks spicy foods have almost like a machismo element to it.
Oh God, yeah, of course it does.
So
that's why like they've got like the contest.
Yeah,
where you like see how much the spiciest shit you can eat.
So I mean that always plays into it because I always know somebody who typically brags about like eating tons of spicy food, and then like I'll offer them something that I know this is spicy.
Yeah.
I know I'm an experienced heat eater, and I know this is spicy. And without fail, whoever that person is always tries it and then shrugs like that's not that hot. And then if I watch them, they are suffering on so many levels, and they're not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Because Meg's niece Rachel, who was on the podcast once, like she was giving me that shit the last time
Really?
she was in. So I was like, okay, and like she had made like a sandwich, and I just and she ate that powder. Like, oh, it's not that bad. And I just see just like sweat, and she does not look happy. She's like, oh, bad. And when I offered more, she's like, okay, no, that was really, really fucking hot.
I'm kind of weird about it. I let people know that I like spicy food. And I do think there is like a certain element of bragging about it because I honestly like bragging about it because every time I do, people bring, like you said, people bring me spicy things to try.
Yeah.
And they're great. And I mean, I'm also not like, but when I eat something spicy, like I am not afraid to like let people know that I think it's spicy. Like if like at Hattie B's, like I was not afraid to let, because like my eyes are tearing up, like I'm crying, my lips are bright red.
Like you just sucked like 20 dicks,
Like just 20 dicks.
really
like,
big ones that like cracked your lips. They were so girthy.
So I mean, I'm not afraid to like show that it's spicy, but at the same time, it's like I love that though. Like I love like it physically, my body runs it out, but like I guess emotionally, psychologically, like I like that heat. I don't know.
It is oddly complicated.
It really is, but it is a good feeling. Like like it's exciting. That's probably the best way I can put it. Like when I eat something that's really, really spicy, it's exciting. Like my body has, I like that reaction that my body has to it, where it's like, it's almost like I'm surviving poison. Is that a weird like, you know what I mean? It's just I'm doing.
I get that.
But it's also tasty. Like I legitimately do think it's tasty.
Hattie B's was amazing.
Fuck yes.
So yeah, it's. I had a train of thought about that, but now it's gone. Left the station.
That's okay.
But yes, damn it.
It's
right there.
I derailed us.
It's okay. No, I was building on what you just said, that I just forgot it.
Poison. I was talking about poison. Tell me about poison.
No, it's like your reaction to heat. Something you'd said before that.
That I would cry, and my lips are red like I'd sucked 20 dicks.
Yeah. Oh, Yoga's about sucking 20 dicks.
I have an unrelated story to tell.
Oh, but we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the next episode on iTunes, SoundCloud, or find the whole podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. So don't miss the next episode. We are going to be talking about
The Simpsons. Right? Or did we already do that?
No, we haven't done that. We haven't done that. The next episode is, because this is Monday's episode, so the next one will be The Simpsons. You're
Spoilers.
right.
We are recording this far in advance. I have to go out of town, so the schedule's all mixed up. That's why we don't know what the fuck's going on. Not that we normally do, but like we actually have a legitimate excuse.
Because we used to record way in advance and stockpile them, and then we got tired of. We like seeing them immediately publish, because that's gratifying as opposed to like waiting for an episode you're proud of or a moment that you're proud of, and then it taking 3 weeks to publish.
I think we have different reasons. Yeah. I didn't know that was your reason.
Yeah.
Why, like my reason was I felt like we could talk about, not that we do, but I felt like we could talk about things like more topically, like.
That's a good point.
Because there was in the beginning there was this weird delay where it's like if we were to reference something like, oh my god, this game is coming out, and then the game would already be out.
It's been out for a month, and now it's half off.
Right.
So the next one will be The Simpsons Arcade.
Yes, we're doing our best to get some special guest
arcade
for
games
that.
in.
Yes, and to get some arcade games.
Yeah.
In.
If you want to send us any arcade stands, that'd be wonderful.
What's Nicole's P.O. box? I'm sure they accept full-size arcade stand-ups at the post office.
If anyone wants to send us the 6-player X-Men, please go ahead. Let's see. We're up to 140 reviews. It's awesome. It's
That's
wonderful. Good. 138 of them are 5-star.
Right.
One is Bower Mill, and then one who I'm pretty sure it's this guy that hates me.
Yeah.
Gave us that 1-star review.
Well, look.
Pretty sure.
Look,
pretty sure.
Out of 140, we probably deserve one star.
Probably more than that, but
we don't have right.
Yeah.
we're like just offensive enough, I think, to where like the people who would give us 1 star just immediately turn it off and like try to forget about us instead of like, I'm gonna create an iTunes account and I'm gonna let these people know exactly what's
That's
on
why
my
I feel
mind.
because the 1 star wasn't attached to a written review.
Yeah.
I feel like it's this guy who does not listen to the show, hates me, got on 1 star. Ha, got that fucker. Get the fuck out. But we need more. It's endless.
Yeah, we gotta balance out that 1 star review.
Yeah. And that takes about 200 per 1 star review.
Yeah, it does. It truly does.
So please help us out. Go to iTunes, subscribe so you get all the episodes, even though some don't pop up in the feed for some reason. But if you subscribe, you do get them.
That annoys me to no fucking end.
Yeah, fucking iTunes. And then, but we try to help you help us. But so if you go subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, write a review. If there's a game you want us to play, a certain guest host, or if you have a Patreon request, because we do a special Patreon episode every month. Whatever you include in that 5-star written review, we promise we will get to it eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about Bartman and all his shenanigans and also his other family members. In the meantime, you can always find us on TADPOG.com. That's where the show notes live. You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/TADPOG. Dude, guys, ladies, thank you so much for your Facebook comments. They've been like off the charts. We've had so many Facebook comments. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
And honestly, what I love about it is we can bring some of that into the show. Like there's some comments that I read where it's like, I'm going to make a note of this because I'd like to mention it on the show because it's really good. Mm-hmm. Like when you try to help me figure out what yens is. Thank you. So if you want to join the conversation, you can do that there, facebook.com/TADPOG. We're on Twitter at TADPOG_podcast. It's cumbersome. I realize. Thank you very much to everybody out there who retweets our episode announcements because that helps spread the word, and that is amazing. Thank you for exposing your friends to our special brand of hot internet shit talk. What else? You can mail us something if you want.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, go ahead. I'm pulling it up.
Okay.
No, we don't know it.
I'll tell you what. You can. If you want to give us money, I cannot guarantee you that giving us money is going to make us more prepared. But if you'd like to do so anyway, you can at patreon.com/TADPOG. There are already a lot of really, really, really cool people who donate there already. Thank you guys so much. It is amazing. We continue the show on your support. So it's a really nice thing that you do. Thank you. I'm so glad that we have listeners like you.
But if you want to help, if you have food you want us to try, if you want to fill up an intro space, make us feel better,
Yes.
make it easier on us.
Yes.
Or if there's a game you want us to play, and if you send us a copy, that gets it bumped way the fuck up. I mean, we try to get those that people actually send us right away.
Sure.
If we can play them. We still don't have a Sega Saturn. As soon as we get access to one, we will play Street Fighter, the movie.
The game.
Yeah. So if you want to send us something.
We exclude Lord Matt from
that's
all
true.
of that.
That's true. I mean, we only got one more of his games to play. One more.
That we got, our third episode?
It's 2016, so this is the third game. So this is the year that we do 3D Dot Heroes.
3D Heroes, okay.
But if there's anything you want to send us, please send it to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
Excellent.
Our theme song,
Yes, Tyler.
that's Moves by Sycamore Drive. A link to that track can be found in the show notes at TADPOG.com.
Okay. Perfect.
How would you like to close this out?
There's a bunch of different options. I do not know. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because I do not know what a great curry god sounds like, and I have a feeling that you do.
No,
Okay.
I didn't make it that far.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because you don't meet him until the 200th floor. Didn't get that far.
Okay. Do you want to? So let's
And
close it out.
I found one YouTube Let's Play, and
shit! You found a niche.
Yeah, and he got to the final dungeon and got like 50 floors in, and then I checked on part 21, and he's like, "No, I died, and I'm not going to finish it."
Okay. Bummer.
Get it.
Do you know how he's out? Do you know how he was getting video from his Vita?
I know because I looked into this because I was like, "That looks awesome," but it's another like component part you have to import. That's not 100% legal or whatever to allow you to do it.
Because I mean, does the Vita have a video out port?
You can play. I know with the PlayStation TV, not all games are compatible. But some games allow you to put it on a TV screen. So I imagine then you can do a capture from that. But I know to do a capture like on your computer takes an expensive piece of hardware.
Well, there's a niche, man. I mean, I know you've talked about video before. There's a niche. Like if there's no like full Let's Play of this game,
doing obscure Japanese Vita games.
I mean, hell, you tried to find it. I don't know how many views that guy had, but
he had a few hundred.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, you want to close it out as the Great Curry God or the Lesser Curry God?
How about you do the Great Curry God, I'll do the Lesser Curry God.
Okay.
So until next time,
I'm just going to be extremely racist. I'm going to throw that out.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I would don't. Yeah. Yeah. So until next time.
I went Irish. I bet you weren't expecting
Pretty good.
that.
It is St. Patrick's Day when we're recording
this. Yes.
So happy in the past St. Patrick's Day.
Happy. That's actually the really popular greeting card. Happy in the past St. Patrick's Day.
Happy, not belated. Happy in the past.
In the past. I'm gonna be a mess if that ever happens.
I look forward to your Orson Welles
because I'm gonna eat everything. I'm gonna be smoking everything. Like I'm gonna be tripping balls nonstop. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Cancer is going to be amazing.
It's gonna be like spring break.
I'm glad we have our stinger from that.